This is what happens when you have no morality in a nation. This is what happens when you have no leadership, just Machiavellian calculations. And so it leads us in a way back to the issue of fame and heroism. We're focused now on a degenerate who thinks that dressing up as a woman and making everyone look at him as a woman is the equivalent of being a hero. And because of the vermin in the media who have glorified this psychopath, this mentally ill individual, the children in our country are in grave danger of never knowing the difference between sanity, insanity, and what a real hero is. They're actually thinking that a fat person who waves her behind around on television for 5 years is a hero. They don't know what a hero is. In my day, a guy like Bruce Jenner would have been severely treated by psychiatrists or put in a mental hospital and guarded around the clock from hurting themselves or others. But now we have doctors who are so sick that they mutilate men. They mutilate women to convert them into a sex that they were not born to. This is not about homosexuality. This is about the mutilation of a human being. Now, I ask you, do you think that radical Islam is rising around the world in a vacuum? They're not rising around the world in a vacuum. This nation was once a torch of liberty to the world. This nation was once a torch of heroes to the world. This nation was once looked up to around the world. But since we put this demented anti-American into the White House, the nation has imploded. It has collapsed morally, militarily, any way you want to look at it. So therefore, when the nation collapses morally or socially, what rises up in its place? Well, Bruce Jenner, the putrid garbage being spewed by Hollywood, has now produced a freak show where the freaks are now running America. That's right, freaks. Now, I challenge anyone listening to this show to tell me if the word degenerate or pervert still applies in this country. Tell me what a degenerate is. Someone who loves America? Tell me what a pervert is. Someone who loves America? They have turned the world upside down, and they're a very small minority. Make no mistake about it. The freaks and the perverts and the anti-Americans are a very small minority, and yet they are ruling over this nation. That is how a man as demented as Bruce Jenner can be held up as a symbol of something wonderful and wholesome. No, he's not wonderful and wholesome. He's a very sad, sick individual who is so desperate for attention that he would mutilate his body through surgery in order to attract your attention for a dying second. So it brings us back to who is your hero? What is a real hero? What is a hero? Well, I looked up what a hero is, and there's dozens of good definitions, but we often confuse the two in defining a hero or a famous person. We confuse the two. And people have said fame is this and heroism is that. I don't know what your definition is. I'll read you a few of them. Albert Einstein said, "If my theory of relativity is proven successful, Germany will claim me as a German, and France will declare me a citizen of the world. Should my theory prove untrue, France will say that I am a German, and Germany will declare that I am a Jew." Albert Einstein. Sun Tzu, the ancient Chinese philosopher, wrote, "The general who advances without coveting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service for his sovereign, is the jewel of the kingdom." We have no such generals. We have no such generals in the United States of America. We did at one time have them. We don't have them anymore. Notable quotes on fame. Let's see what else we have for you. Charles Churchill said, "Fame is nothing but an empty name." Leonardo da Vinci is alleged to have written, "Fame should be depicted covered with tongues instead of with feathers and in the form of a bird." I don't know what that means. A sign of celebrity is often that their name is worth more than their services. That's pretty good. Benjamin Franklin said, "If you would not be forgotten as soon as you are dead, either write things worth reading or do things worth writing." That's pretty good. If you would not be forgotten as soon as you are dead, either write things worth reading or do things worth writing. St. Augustine said, "The desire for fame tempts even noble minds." Let's see what John Genet said. "The fame of heroes owes little to the extent of their conquests and all to the success of the tributes paid to them." Stuff like that. Confucius said, "Care not for being unknown, but seek to be worthy of note." Worthy of note. Worthy of note. Look what Hollywood has done to the concept of heroism and fame. It started in the 1960s with the worship of the, quote, anti-hero. In other words, the anti-family, anti-church, anti-American individuals that were promoted by Hollywood, the known anti-heroes at the time, have now been elevated to the point where you actually confuse them with actual heroes. But there are real heroes. Who are they? Who are your heroes? Do you have any left? Are there any left? Let's focus for a moment on an individual who was never qualified to be anything other than a hate monger, Hillary Clinton. And she hit a new low yesterday when she went before a black audience they had to cover the auditorium up with screens because nobody was there. She's running a Capricorn One campaign. She's hated. Nobody likes her. She just has hundreds of millions of dollars to spend fooling you into thinking that because she lacks a penis, she's worthy of the presidency. What a qualification that would be. What a qualification that is. I mean, because she's not a man, she's worthy of the presidency. So Hillary went to a new low yesterday. She's gotten so ugly so fast that she started accusing everyone who opposes her of being a racist. Listen to clip 2 of this individual.
We have a responsibility to say clearly and directly what's really going on in our country. Because what is happening is a sweeping effort to disempower and disenfranchise people of color, poor people, and young people from one end of our country to the other.
Goebbels in a skirt. A hate monger, an ugly hate monger, a monster who is not qualified to lead a sewer brigade, let alone a nation such as ours. If you think it's bad under Obama, you're right. But if you ever put this creature into the White House, you won't know what bad is. This woman is so hateful and so desperate that she goes before a black crowd at a black college. Very few people show up, and her handlers cover up the auditorium with curtains. So they show you a crowd, a little crowd that they tightly focus on with the cameras, along the lines of Leni Riefenstahl, who worked for Hitler. And then instead of giving an uplifting speech, which draws us together, she goes back to the ugliness that gave her the power to begin with, which is hate. Nothing but hate, with big lies, one lie after another. So it comes back to who is your hero, really? Yeah, who is your hero? Hillary Clinton is your hero? How could any woman listening to this show want to elect her? I've nothing against a woman president. I mean, what should I say? I like women? That's not the point. Qualified woman, let her be president. Maybe Fiorina has gotten over her love for illegal immigration, and I could support her. I know she ran for governor here in California, and she destroyed herself by supporting amnesty for illegals, and I haven't heard her on that yet. But she would certainly not be a hate monger like Hillary. She's actually run a corporation, unlike Hillary, who's run nothing but the Clinton Scam Foundation. So who is your hero? Let's see if we get any calls on the Open Mike to Mike show. The phone number again is 855-407-282. I'm going to give you the latest breaking news. We're going to talk about what is the difference between a hero and a famous person. We're going to play you some great sound, and we'll take some interesting calls right here on the Savage Nation.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
Your Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com. It's the only company I trust for tangible assets, gold and silver. Call 800-BUI-COIN. It is Black Friday on the Savage Nation. I have a sense of gloom and doom. I really do. I feel like the world's going to blow. I have an intuition that something's going to happen very soon. It's going to blow it all up. I don't mean the whole world's coming to an end. Don't get me wrong. I have a feeling that when the Iranian troops, the Iranian Guard, are dropped into Syria to protect Assad, and they face off against ISIS and the United States, the hidden troops we have there, this could bring Israel into the mix. We could wind up with World War III. This is such a mismanaged situation. We have such a nut in the White House. Such an incompetent nut in the White House. I just have this terrible feeling in my guts about the world right now because it's a little too quiet. And the country is so demented right now that we're looking at a man dressed up as a woman as though he's a hero. He is the opposite of a hero. Doesn't mean a man shouldn't dress up as a woman. He wants to do it. Why is this man held up on a pedestal as a role model? Who is your hero? Let's go to line number 2, WMAC in Georgia. Line 2, go ahead, please.
Mike, You are my hero because you get paid to spout nonsense and fiction for a living. You are my hero.
All right, fine, great. All right, what else is on your mind, sicko?
Well, I want to tell you. Who are you to define what a hero is?
Well, who are you to even question me? You're nobody. You're just calling from a prison cell somewhere. What have you ever done that anyone would pay attention to you? Who are you?
Who are you?
Who am I, idiot? I've written 30 books. I have a real PhD. I've traveled the world. I've saved rainforests. I have a great track record. Who are you, unknown hater?
I'm not an unknown hater. I'm a man who disagrees with you, so you make me a hater.
You disagree with me? How? By trying to denigrate everything I've achieved without knowing what I've achieved because you've read garbage on the internet? You know nothing.
You
know nothing. You're a zero. Tell you what. You know everything about me. Tell me what you've achieved. Give me an example of one thing you have written that I should read.
I went to medical school. I trained at one of the most great...
Did you? You trained? And what are you doing with your medical school degree?
What do you care?
What do I care? You're holding yourself up as a great role model of a hero. Tell me what you do in medicine.
I'm working as a physician. It's what I do.
So what? Because you're peddling drugs to people, that makes you a healer?
Are you?
Because you peddle drugs to people, you look people's charts on the wall, and you call yourself a healer? You're a drug pusher.
I'm a drug pusher.
A crack dealer in Baltimore is to be more respected than most doctors today. At least they call themselves drug dealers. You're a drug pusher. That's all you are with a medical degree. What, because you wear a stethoscope, that makes you into a healer?
And the idea that you...
That's all. We got a real hater there, a wonderful one. Well, I feel much better. Let him go home now and hate himself a little bit more. He's just jealous of me. It's that simple. He cannot believe that I have a national audience because I'm a better man than he is with a better education and better, productivity. He thinks being a medical doctor makes him a healer. There's a little difference between medicine and healing, isn't there? Ask anybody who knows anything about the difference between medicine and healing. Now, it's true that burn, cut, and poison is one theory of medicine, and it works in many cases, and God bless them for being able to burn, cut, and poison things, but not everyone needs to be burned, cut, and poisoned in order to be healed. And unfortunately, most people who go into medicine today go into it only for the money, nothing else. They don't go into it to heal. So let's go back to something uglier than ugly itself, which is Hillary Clinton's words. She is so desperate because she's collapsed in the polls because people know what a criminal she is and how unqualified she is at any speed. So she goes before, and this is a fact, by the way, an all-black college audience. No one really shows up. It's a small group of a couple of hundred people in an auditorium that could hold thousands. And her handlers drop curtains around the audience, the empty seats. So idiots like that alleged doctor who just called don't want to know the truth about their hero. And instead of talking about an uplifting message, something that a president should do to bring us together, unite us, she tries to divide us by making blacks feel that they're disenfranchised, by making the poor feel that they're disenfranchised, by making young people feel that someone owes them a living. Listen to the lie coming out of the mouth of this ugly creature called Hillary Clinton in clip 3.
Today, Republicans are systematically and deliberately trying to stop millions of American citizens from voting.
Hiss.
What part of democracy are they afraid of?
We're afraid of
I
your
believe
Hitler-like
every
behavior.
citizen has the right to vote, and I believe we should do everything we can to make it easier for every citizen to vote.
How many